Did you know that Sephora website has a dedicated spring makeup section? It is a curated list of products that Sephora customers tend to associate with spring. Neither did I. Hi, welcome to the Art App, a place where we do window shopping during Sephora sale. And getting back to that list, unfortunately, I'm not sure how new or up-to-date it is, but I was genuinely surprised to see what Sephora customers consider to be spring-appropriate makeup. I am personally on a no buy, so I won't be adding any products to my cart, but what makes this list so special is that each product includes a shade that is spring appropriate, which means that I can dupe the vibe with what I already have in my collection. And honestly, I doubt you will recognize majority of these shades as typical spring picks. Let's see what we have here. So the list starts with NARS Light Reflecting Advanced Skincare Medium Coverage Foundation, which I think makes sense because even I myself tend to wear lighter, more luminous foundation when the spring comes. Plus, it has a natural finish, so I think that's quite an obvious choice. Hi, I'm coming to you barefaced to try out all that spring makeup. And yes, I'm that person who does her eyes first. So let's get back to that NARS Reflecting Foundation. In order to get that reflecting effect, I'm going to mix my Maybelline Fit Me foundation with L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. The Maybelline Fit Me foundation is a matte one, and I can build it to medium coverage. I think that together with Lumi Glotion, they should balance each other and give me that soft, natural, slightly luminous finish. I love using Fit Me foundation as it is, but when paired with Lumi Glotion, somehow this foundation looks less flat on my face and it gives me more natural finish. I just love this DIY. I think from now on I will try pairing these two products more often. And you know what? In my wish list, I have the new Maybelline foundation that is like Stay Matte Lumi. Maybe I actually have a dupe for that foundation. This is the sign for you. Try experimenting even with your favorite foundation. Now here's where the fun part begins. For blush, Sephora suggests MAC Mineralized Blush in the shade Gentle, which is described as a raspberry with gold pearl. I don't usually reach for raspberry blushes unless I'm pairing them with deeper lipstick, like the one from Givenchy or Pat McGrath that I have. But in spring, I tend to go for softer tones like peach blush from Essence or both of shades from my Hourglass Dragon palette. So that's an interesting choice. So I have already set my face with powder and put on bronzer. I use the products that I have in my current project pan because the Sephora list didn't provide any other products to use. So I used the one that I have in my current rotation. Now moving on to blush. So we have a raspberry tone blush with a kind of golden pearlescent shift, and I was intrigued because it is a cool tone based and warm tone like shift, and I had to really dig through my collection to find anything that is raspberry related, and the only thing that I had is Waxed from Blends from Blood Bunny Cosmetics. And the shift is the loose pigment that I bought a lot of years ago. It is very old and I don't even remember when I bought it and where I bought it. There isn't even the name of this pigment, so the only thing that I can tell you that it is a kind of pearlescent topper with golden shift, and I think it should pair perfectly with Waxed in order to dupe that vibe of MAC Mineralized Blush. According to the description, MAC Mineralized blushes tend to be on a sheerer side, so I think I got pretty close. So this is the final look. I think I maybe put slightly too much on this cheek, but overall I like the look, but I don't think I'm loving it. I think it's a little bit too berry toned for my liking. I love something more peachy or maybe slightly less cool toned as my blush because I want this nice, fresh, flushed look. Actually, the more I look at it, I think the more I like it. Maybe eyes are throwing off a little bit because it's too much. You can either have brighter cheeks or brighter eyes. What do you think? This is the part I was looking forward to the most. Sephora Spring List includes the Dior eyeshadow palette in the shade Denim. And honestly, it intimidates me. The palette has satiny blues and a golden shimmer in the center. And even just looking at it, I'm struggling to come up with looks beyond a smoky eye or smoked out liner. Am I missing something? Is it supposed to be like that? Where is the transition shade? Like, how do you blend it? Either way, I want to try to dupe this palette with what I already have, and I'm already mentally digging through my collection. All the blues in Dior palette are satin finishes, which is tricky because I don't have many satiny blues, but here is what I will go with. The very first shade will be the one from my Pat McGrath palette. It has slightly lavender shift. It's not the exact match, but close enough. The next shade leans a little bit greenish. And honestly, I don't think I have quite something like that. I think I will go with Shark from Nomad Cosmetics. For the third shade, the best match that I have found, I think, would be Tempting from BH Cosmetics Blueberry Muffin palette. And the last shade is a true denim blue, so I think for that I will use Stud Muffin, once again from Blueberry Muffin. Oh, I think I shouldn't have closed that palette. And finally, that golden pearlescent shade in the center. I think I don't have anything like this. All of my golds, they usually lean more cool tone or more like pinkish gold. I do have one very old loose pigment that I bought a lot of years ago, so I think I will use that one. Looks like I got pretty close. What do you think? So this is the eyeshadow look that I came up with, and it was a massive process to film. It took me so long to come up with a decent eye look because I kept getting stuck around two ideas, either smoky eyes or smudged eyeliner, and I didn't like the look of any. I tried both of them, and since I couldn't blend the shades properly into my crease because all the shades are satins and everyone looked patchy because of the way the light hits my crease, I was not satisfied with it and I had to wipe it out. And this is the best I could do with that eyeshadow palette. The eyeshadows are good, I just didn't know how to combine them properly. Maybe I was the only one who struggles with this color story, so I went to Sephora website, and the looks that they have there usually include only two colors, and maybe this is how you are supposed to use this eyeshadow palette because I personally wanted to use all the shades. I really like what I came up with, and I'm very happy that my makeup collection, especially eyeshadow collection, can help me to recreate the vibe of that very expensive Dior palette. But if it were up to me, I think I would change one of the satin shades into a matte one or something that you can put into your crease. And talking about the possibility of changing something, if I could pick one of Dior eyeshadows to maybe be more spring appropriate, I would go with the green version. They used to have a very nice green, golden, pink one. Or if I have to go with a eyeshadow palette that is available right now, I would go into pinker direction. What about you? Which palette would you pick, or which color would you change? Next up, we have Danessa Myricks Infinite Chrome Waterproof Micro Pencil, specifically in the shade Amethyst, which is this muted magenta with an olive shift. I don't have multichrome eyeliners, so to dupe that effect, I will use as a base my Maybelline Lasting Matte Eye Pencil in the shade Jade, Olive, and ColourPop Muted Metallic Red. I think the shift is very subtle and it's more rose gold than muted magenta. I'm not sure how it works with the eyes, but I would love to try it in different eye look. Any guess what we have for the lipstick? It is actually MAC Squared Lip Plumping Gloss Stick in the shade Violet Bata. I'm just going to mix a little bit of lavender eyeshadow into a clear gloss and see what happens. So here are my final thoughts. I really love the foundation and eye pencil layering technique. I love how my eyes look today, but I definitely need an extra blending or deepening matte shades because otherwise I am limited with options that this palette provides me because this is the only decent eye look that I could come up with. I'm not sure how I feel about the blush. I think it's a little bit too cool toned for me. Never thought I would say that. And I don't like the lip gloss. I think lavender or purplish lip gloss is not my vibe. What about you? What do you think about this curated list of products? Do they scream spring to you? Because I'm not so sure. Also, Sephora has a curated list of other spring appropriate makeup products like pink spring makeup, colorful spring makeup. I would link them down below if you want to check them out. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I'll see you next time. Bye!